Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your Monday night. It is time for Avenger Pretenders. Yeah, some good stuff. I am JT the Redneck. I've got Sully the Geek sitting right beside me, although he's several hundred miles away, but he's still right beside me. Tonight, episode 3 and 4 of Wonder Man. It is going to be a lot of fun. I can promise you that. So, do me a favor. Get whatever drink it is you like to drink, something to munch on, sit back in that beanbag chair, and strap yourself in, because I guarantee you it's going to be a fun but bumpy ride. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, my thank you, sir. And hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. For some reason, my thing's not updating on Twitch, and I don't know why, even though I updated it. So, yeah, we're just going to wing it when it comes down to that. Oh, man. Hello and welcome. We're talking about Wonder Man. That's right, Wonder Man. Episodes 3 and 4. Just like JT said, because, well, we have nothing else to do on a Monday night. And I hope you have a good time with us. Join in the conversation. Be part of the fun. It's how we roll, okay? It's how we roll.
Very bumpily.
Yeah, very, very bumpily indeed. And my intro music still doesn't work, which I fixed.
I think we might need to, redo that or something.
Yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow. That's a conversation for another day.
Add that to the list.
But, yeah, back to the list of everything that I'm doing behind the scenes to get things up and running properly, because, we're professionals. We're professionals.
Wait, when did that happen?
I want to say yesterday.
Okay.
Maybe.
So I just haven't got the memo yet.
Maybe. The memo is delayed. But we're going to get right down to the nitty-gritty because we have 2 episodes to go through. And oh my goodness, was it amazing. Wasn't it amazing?
Again, and I have to say, okay, first off, I am truly, truly enjoying this series.
Right? It's different. I like it.
And that's just it. They have gone so far outside of the realm.
Yeah.
Of anything that we've seen whatsoever in the MCU so far.
It's great.
And normally, I mean, think about it. Any other show that's even tried to step like one step outside of their norm, it just screws everything up.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It hasn't done that with this. I mean, here's the MCU, here's Wonder Man, but it's still a very smooth transition to go from one to the other.
Right. And
it's not like you're jumping over a 10-lane highway to get to back and forth.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really like about this. This is more of a character development type of series. Yeah. And I like that. I like that we're showing things about Simon Williams and his life before he becomes Wonder Man.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I really am.
This episode, and I know I butcher the name of the place, is it Pacioma or
Pacoima?
Pacoima, maybe? Pacoima? Probably not. But that's the title of the episode because that's where Simon's mother lives in this episode. And it's her birthday.
Yay!
You're going to go celebrate her birthday. So that's kind of what it is.
Cake and some ice cream and sing some songs.
Yeah, and be all lovey-dovey and, this is my mom type of thing.
Have a nice reunion with the family.
But as you know, as well as I know, birthday parties, well,
tend to blow up.
Could potentially be stressful for people. You know, the planning,
That's a nice way of putting it.
making sure the food is right, making sure the guests are right, like all of that stuff. If you've ever thrown a birthday party before, you know as well as I do, it could be catastrophic for people.
Yeah, especially if you forget the whipped cream.
Yes. Well, this episode starts off with a 13-year-old Simon. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is right after his father's death.
2 years.
2 years after his father's death. So, you know, we've already seen him go to the movies with him and see the original Wonder Man, you know, the flashbacks. But this time we're in a hospital. And in the hospital, it's got his brother Eric, his mother Martha. And no, it has nothing to do with Superman or Batman. And I love that Trisha just came into the chat room. Hello, darling.
What's up, Chica? You're a day early. But good practice.
My title wouldn't change for me. And I'm too lazy to fix it now. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about. Wonder Man. So come on in and have some fun. If you haven't seen it, we'll talk later. But this is where we see them kind of freaking out a little bit about Simon. Because...
Well, Mom is.
Well, he states in this episode that he is the one that caused the fire by turning on the stove.
Yes.
And he was unsupervised. And that kind of like surprises people a little bit, but his mom's like, no, you didn't cause this. This is not your fault. And the doctor's like, well, you're good. There's no burns. There's no smoke inhalation. There's no injuries. You're good. You're healthy. You're a healthy person. Meanwhile, they're like, he ain't healthy. No way. They know the truth. They know he's developing some type of powers to be, you know. But yes, it's one of those flashbacks where they don't give enough information, but they give just enough to make you go, huh. Especially for those that don't know Wonder Man's powers. Okay? Like JT.
Right. And I love the doctor in this one because you could tell that she's suspicious about something because, you know, if he was in a fire and rescued by the fire department and everything, and, you know, no signs of smoke inhalation, a couple of burns in his clothes and stuff, some soot, but otherwise, he's fine.
But, you know, the best part about that is his clothes are all burned.
Yeah.
His clothes are all burned up, and he's really, if you think about it, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. So you're like, okay, how do we treat this? You know, how do we do the whole, there's something going on here, but how do we prove it? You know? Because something like that.
She writes a little something in his little medical folder, but we don't know what she wrote.
Right. Well, obviously she wrote the updates. You know, no smoke inhalation, no burns, no physical scars, nothing of the sort. But obviously his clothes were burned. But he's fine. And I think in this time period, I mean, that's really the best way, or I mean, this is the 616 timeline. It's the sacred timeline. It's not some variant of Wonder Man, but it kind of is. But that's a whole nother ball game. But anyway,
that's a 3-hour show in itself.
Yeah. Well, we also see from there we skip to present day. So to me, there's family tension. When I first saw that scene, I'm like, little brother started a fire.
Yeah, I mean, just the way that Eric was looking at him.
Yeah, like, dude.
You know, mom's all panicky, like a mother normally would be after her son was trapped in a fire.
Absolutely.
You know, and Eric's just sitting there with this, I wouldn't say condescending. Well, yeah, I guess you could call it a condescending look that he's giving him the entire time that we're in this scene, you know. Older brother and all that good stuff. I want to say hi to our good friend, Miss Carol.
Hi, Carol. How's it going? Well, from there, in the present day, we're at damage control now. The Department of Damage Control, which and don't get me wrong, I understand Tony Stark's standpoint in Department of Damage Control and creating it. You know, it's kind of that, you know, Avengers screwed up type of thing, you know? So I get it. It's been around. Heyerdahl, he's the deputy secretary of the DODC, the LA field office, by the way, not New York. No. He is addressing all the agents like, listen, we got a supermax prison with no one in it.
Oh, not even half full.
Yeah, not even half full. Do you know who's in it? That you know of anyway? There are a couple of bad guys in the raft. However, there is one specific one.
Abomination, maybe?
No, he's
not in there yet.
No, he's on he's on house arrest now. Remember from She-Hulk?
Oh, that's right.
I'm talking about General Thunderbolt Ross from Captain America: Brave New World as the Red Hulk. He put himself there, you know?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he put himself there, and you know, kind of, you know, rightfully so. I mean, he did just destroy DC, but that's besides the point.
Most of it, yeah.
You know, the one thing that is sparking them going after Simon is they think he's a threat. He's a major threat because of the powers that he could potentially have. And he needs more justification as to why they're going after him. And the congressional budget, apparently, they're over because they're using all their resources for this one guy. And you're like, okay. Spider-Man's one guy. Why aren't you going all after him? Oh, wait. They tried. You know? I'm just putting it out there. They tried. So, there's a thing going on. It's a theme, so to speak. And they even talk about how, you know, they hacked Simon's computer, which is true. You know, Trevor did put the wonderful thing on the laptop, and it started hacking the system, stealing all his information. And
the lovely looking ring that he had.
Right? That was just so, like, classy. Just take that ring and just...
It's pretty cool technology.
Yeah. Bluetooth is a wonderful thing sometimes. A little scary. Right. But then again, so's ChatGPT. But fun. Anyway, after they hack everything, they find a lot of evidence that pertains to Simon and the kitchen fire, and a similar incident that happened on the set of The Rookie. Yes, that Rookie, with you know, it's an ABC show. Just saying. It's there. Anyway, but they learn that his birthday's coming up, and they want Trevor to wear a wire. They want Trevor to wear a wire and get as much information as possible. And he's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm becoming good buddies with Simon.
Right.
I feel like I'm causing tension. So he agrees because, he gets threatened to be thrown back in prison. Poor guy. I really do feel for Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, I mean the can't think of the agent's name with Cleary.
Cleary.
Yeah, he took the deal that he made with Trevor and just threw it out the window. He's like, if you don't do this, you're going back to jail.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it is now.
He's very,
so.
and don't get me wrong, I get it. Informants for the federal government, police agencies, all that, they do the same thing. You do not comply, you're going to go.
Right.
Simple as that. So Trevor's kind of on that half and half where he wants to continue to help Simon. He wants to continue to be his friend. He still wants to do everything to help Simon get this part of being Wonder Man. And just because it's the fight or flight method, he also reluctantly wants to get as much information as possible from Simon. And I can understand the conflict,
Right.
I really can. I can understand the conflict, because that's how things go. That's how things go. Well, Trevor visits Simon and they call Janelle Jackson. Oh, Janelle, the agent. And they want to know some updates. And, she's like, listen, when I find out, you'll find out. Okay? But at the same time, both of them are like, what the hell's going on? Are we going to find out? Did we get the part? How come we didn't get the part? What's going on? What's taking so long? I feel like this series is also one of those series that rips apart Hollywood. Like this stuff happens. You could go on a casting and not hear from anybody in days. Or you can, hear from them instantly. Or in some cases, listen, the part was written for you. If you showed up, it was yours. Hey, great. Perfect. That sounds like fun. Well, these two are a little impatient. And Simon also agrees to go for that short film or stage work instead. And that's when they two start reciting King Lear, which I thought was odd. But I kind of like that they chose King Lear. And then Amadeus. Yeah. They also did Amadeus, too.
Yes, they did.
And if you haven't seen Amadeus, great movie. So for those that have never seen it, watch it. Not only did I get forced to watch it in elementary school, I actually liked it, and it was really good. So I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. But that's when Simon goes, it's my mom's birthday. But he also extends an olive branch to Trevor like, dude, can you come with me, please? I don't want to deal with my family by myself. My brother's an ass. I mean, that's what I got out of it when I first heard it. He's like, I don't know about that. It is what it is.
Yeah, he was. Well, but I mean, you're going to be apprehensive about taking somebody you really don't know that well, or at least I would be, to my parents' house.
True.
Or my mom's house, because everybody's going to go, who the hell is this guy,
Yeah.
And raise all kinds of issues that way.
True. However, he also says to Trevor, listen, don't bring up American Horror Story. I don't want them to know that I got fired.
I haven't told him that I got fired yet.
I haven't told them I lost the part because I was dumb and that I needed a full background story for my cameo appearance and all of that good stuff. I'm just, putting it out there. And, they go to the party. Why not? It's Mom's birthday. It's just so many, times you're going to have a birthday. But he also forgot to bring the whipped cream.
I ask you, and then he gets the classic line. I ask you to do one thing.
One thing. That's it. Just one thing. Just bring the whipped cream. And yep. I had so many jokes for that when I was watching it first. I'm like, Cool Whip. You forgot the Cool Whip. Cool Whip.
Why are you saying it like that?
Saying it like what?
Why are you saying it like that? Why are you emphasizing the H so much?
A Cool Whip. Say cool. Cool. Whipped. Whipped.
Now say Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Okay, let's get back to
tangent. There we go. So anyway, at the party, obviously the family recognizes Trevor as the Mandarin. You'll never see me coming. And he's like, listen, I just portrayed the Mandarin. It was just a cover up. It was just so I could, get drugs and prostitutes and alcohol and all that good stuff. And that's all I really needed it for. I was in a very bad place when I got that part. And meanwhile, his mother's like, right. Hey, we're redoing the kitchen.
No, we already redid it.
Oh, yes, that's right. We redid the kitchen. Look how nice it is. Isn't it wonderful? And that's when Trevor's like, what happened? What happened with the fire? What? But he did it in a very nonchalant way. Like, he actually did it as why did you renovate the kitchen? What was going on? Was everything all right? Did something happen? Like, he did, normal questions.
He was very slick.
Yeah. It wasn't like so did Simon blow up your kitchen? He didn't do that. Which, if you think about it, some people don't have that filter, and that's what they would do.
Right.
But he does it very, nonchalantly, But at the same time, he was also questioning the other party guests about Simon and his past, Like he was really going that extra mile to get the recording that he needed for Agent Cleary about Simon. And that's when they start kind of, you're starting to see the tension between Eric and Simon, because now we're going into, hey, my insurance firm does this. Yeah. I get this, by the way. And oh yeah.
And the thing with it is after the first engagement when he got there.
Yep.
And you had the I asked you to do one thing conversation.
Yep.
I was waiting from that point on. I was waiting for the I've got this, and it's, we've got an opening, you could always come work, that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that just from the way that he acted when Simon first got there.
Yeah.
Eric is an all in all out ass.
Well, he's an older brother. Dude, want to say hi to Jack. Sup, man? Oh, yeah, we're still at it. Hell yeah. I mean, this is the second show we do now.
Yeah. Sully hasn't kicked me out yet, so we're still doing this thing.
Nope, the redneck's still with me all these years.
10 plus.
What are we doing, 18 years now?
Yeah. Over 15 for sure.
He's my buddy. He's my pal. He's my friend.
that we've never met in person.
And I'm going to make a t-shirt for him. It's going to be great. So, so Jack, obviously you're just joining us. We're talking about Wonder Man. And we're on episode 3 right now of Wonder Man. We'll be doing 4 shortly after. Because this whole party in this episode, I don't want to say it brings out a lot of his past, but you can definitely see, like JT said, the tension between his brother Eric and Simon, and it's not, I don't think it's more like a, I'm the older brother, I'm better than you type thing. It's my career is better than your career because you keep crashing.
It's why haven't you done anything with your life? You've had the chance, you've wasted all this time.
Yeah.
Which you've heard and I've heard, and, people who try to do music and movies and everything else, we've all heard it.
And,
or anybody who tries to pursue something outside the norm.
Yeah.
Which we do. Why are you wasting your time with that? That kind of thing. But the other thing that we kind of see as we move through the different stages of the birthday party.
Yep.
As Trevor is going around talking to different family members and neighbors and those kind of things, is how much they avoid talking about Simon as a kid.
Yes.
General statements, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, somebody will say something and Trevor will try to dig in a little bit deeper and they'll brush it off somehow or say, we don't talk about that, especially when he brings up the fire.
Yes.
So you see how everybody that's been around him his entire life has treated knowing that he has superpowers.
Yeah, they're very protective of him.
Yeah, or that he has some kind of thing going on.
You know what? Here's probably the best way you could make an analogy toward this. And I'd like to say it's more along the lines on if somebody was questioning whether or not they can come out of the closet, Only with this one, this is more on the superpower side of things because as we find out, now that the world is getting full of superpowered beings, and we know this, Avengers, enough said.
Right.
More and more things are starting to happen. More and more people are starting to be vigilantes. More and more people are starting to use their powers for good and bad. It's like an explosion of all these characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the comics just coming into one and bringing them out in the forefront. Okay.
Right.
So I like that they're very protective of that secret. Almost like if you were a mutant in the X-Men.
Right.
Family either was very protective of you or the family went
or fed you to the wolves.
Disowned, And that plays a big factor in this series, which I love.
Yeah.
Even though Eric is why haven't you done this in your life, dude? He's also this is my younger brother. Still gotta say stuff. But you can see
he's looking out for him, but at the same time he's not.
Right.
He's on both sides of that coin.
Yeah.
This is something else that we've talked about many times when we've done MCU about how they've stuck as close as they can to real life type situations and things like that.
Yeah.
This birthday scene, this whole episode is so freaking lifelike.
Yeah.
That
I loved it.
I identified with everything
that was going on.
Every emotion that Simon was going through, all the way through this entire episode. And we still get, we got to get to the end.
Yeah.
But it was almost too realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. It made it a very enjoyable episode, but it made it a painful episode at the same time.
True, especially when it came down to the gift.
Yeah.
Because you can see Simon's getting like that, I don't want to be around the family much more. It's stressing me out. And when he gives his mother the gift, you remember what that gift was?
Ice cream maker.
Yep, ice cream maker.
A very expensive ice cream maker.
Well, that's what his brother said.
That's why I said it.
That looks expensive. Well, yeah. So what? He's doing what he needs to do. He's looking out for his mom. He got her. I thought it was a great gift.
It was. It was not. No question that it was a great gift. It's just Eric being the asshole that he is, because then he goes into, he starts getting on his mom because his mom's sending him money to help him out.
Yep.
And that kind of thing. Because I mean, come on, he's a struggling actor. We all know that.
And there was one thing I forgot to mention. While everything was going on, with the cake and everything like that, Trevor was still kind of snooping, I guess you could say. He was in Simon's old childhood room trying to get information, and Cleary called him and said, listen, get me my shit.
Yep.
Making him feel like, you could see Trevor was starting to get like, I just want you to go away type of thing,
Well, that's the one thing about Trevor that we've known from the beginning of this, is he has a conscience.
He really does.
I mean, even when he was doing the Mandarin, he was kind of struggling with the role.
He did,
because of what, the things that he was having to portray doing.
Yes.
So we know the man's got a conscience.
Yeah.
He likes Simon. He sees a lot of himself in Simon.
Yep.
Because he's been through what Simon's going through now. So he sees that, and he's old school.
Yeah.
Old school, you help people out. You don't, they're an actor like me. No, I gotta sabotage him any way I can. Trevor's not like that.
Nope, he is not. So while they're giving the gift to his mother, what's the best way I can explain this? Tensions arose. Tensions got a little high.
Simon got pissed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did. He got.
That's the easiest way to describe it. Simon got pissed.
Simon got very angry, to the point where he admitted to being fired from American Horror Story, and that he's been trying to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
He says it was because of creative differences, which in a lot of ways, technically it was.
Right.
But what he's not saying is what he did because of those creative differences, and the fact that, we saw it. We saw what happened in episode 1 of him going to the writer and the director and figuring out a backstory for this character that they didn't need. They really didn't. They did not need this backstory whatsoever. He was overstepping his bounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing that really gets Simon, and it would be the final straw for me too, is when Eric said that he doesn't want to help the family.
Yeah. Which is not true.
That was the final straw. And then plus Eric just kept going and adding on to it.
I will admit his mom did try to step in, like, knock it off, you two, like that type of thing, But
he tried.
The damage had been done. Simon destroyed the island in the middle of the kitchen.
Just that slab of rock that was on top of that island, $1,500 minimum.
At least. And he shattered
Just that slab of rock.
He shattered it. And Trevor saw the whole thing. The whole thing got recorded, too. But
yeah, Trevor, on the mic, on the wire, yeah.
But Trevor also went, thanks for having me, and left. He was very polite. Very polite. So when he left, He was obviously with Simon because he came with Simon. And he's trying to calm Simon down now. He's already used his powers. He destroyed everything. And they kind of just drive in silence for a little bit to an overlook. And now that Trevor knows, I mean, he had an inkling anyway from Department of Damage Control. But because of this, Simon is now like, what the hell am I going to do? I have these powers. What am I going to do? This is going to invoke the doorman clause if this ever gets out. Now, when I first watched it, I'm like, the doorman clause? What the hell is the doorman clause?
See, so was I.
And then...
Matter of fact, I asked about it last week.
You did. And then Trevor...
you said no, not yet.
Trevor's like, all right, well, let's not jump the gun. And Simon's like, no, you don't understand. It's going to kill my acting career 100%. I'm done. And Trevor just, dude, you're okay.
Yeah, he's trying to encourage him, because Simon's talking about, maybe it's just time that I realize that my acting dream is not going to come true. It's not going to happen. Maybe kind of along the lines of maybe my brother is right.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing,
And then he goes, I got to pee. Gets out of the car. Walks away from the car a little bit. Disables the microphone and takes the micro SD card and breaks it and throws it.
Throws it away.
And that's how you know, like, that Trevor is a good guy. He doesn't want Simon to lose this dream of his being in Wonder Man. And I don't blame him.
He doesn't want Simon to get arrested.
Well, that too, And when he turns back around, he sees Simon stumble out of the car. And he's crying or he's emotional. How about that? He's emotional. He's not really crying, but, he's trembling. And Trevor's like, what's going on? What happened?
He's shaken. That's the word.
Shaken. There you go. Shaken. And Simon says that Janelle just called. She's been trying to reach us. We got a call back. Both of us.
Yep.
End of the episode.
Fade to black. Actually, cut to black.
Fade to black. Not one episode so far has had post-credits scene. Just, there's no post-credit scene at all. Now, that goes into episode 4. Because at the end of this episode, episode 3, the doorman clause. What's the doorman clause? Well, they have a whole episode on the doorman clause because that's the next thing. The doorman, or as I like the plot summary, ding dong. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
The doorman. Now, the doorman is a gentleman by the name of Damar Davis. Okay? Damar Davis. Now.
Very nice guy. Very, very nice guy.
Very nice guy. Good doorman for a bar. Bouncer type guy. I
mean, he picks on 2 ladies because they're from Texas. And he doesn't know if he should allow that yeehaw into his bar.
Yeah. Now, the doorman is an actual character in the comics. So if you thought that they just created this guy out of nowhere, no. His first appearance was actually in West Coast Avengers number 46 in July of 89. I was 9 years old when he was first introduced. Okay. he's actually a mutant. In the MCU, he's a mutate.
He's human trait complicated.
Yeah.
They don't like mutant anymore.
Yeah. They don't like that. You got to be politically correct when it comes to this stuff. But Damar Davis, that is his real name. Even in the comics, it's Damar Davis. And I'm loving that they're bringing in so many smaller and obscure characters from the comic books.
Definitely
all
interesting.
Over the place. You know, it's cool seeing the ones that you know are not big on screen, because you're like, the doorman. Oh, the doorman. Like, you're like, okay, I get it. Well, in this case, Damar Davis is, you know, a bouncer. He's a bouncer at Wilcox in Hollywood. So all the stars go. All the stars go there. His boss, Bridget Bailey, owns the bar and gets to talking to him like, why are you still here? And I thought it was cool. It was one of those, you know, don't take it the wrong way. You know, I'm not getting rid of you or anything.
Right.
But, and this is true, most bouncers, they don't last at an establishment long.
Right.
He has been there 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And as she put it, the last time she tipped him out was more than 3 years ago.
Technically, it's the first time she tipped him out was 3 years ago.
Which is what he said. She's like, do you like working here? Like, what? Have you ever gone on to do something else? And he's like, nah, you know what? He's content.
Happy.
Yes, happy. That's what it was.
He's happy. He gets to talk to people.
Yeah.
He gets to joke around with people. He gets to interact. You just, you know, that whole thing, and that makes him happy. I know a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. Until I started not liking people. But
I mean, you know, that happens all the time.
And then she told him to take out the trash.
Yes. Which I thought was very interesting and a nice tie-in to all the other series that we've seen, including some of the movies where the dumpster was actually manufactured by Roxxon, which, if you remember from Loki and She-Hulk and Iron Man and a whole bunch of other different movies, the Roxxon Corporation is a huge, huge corporation in the Marvel Comics. Huge. They
Pretty
are
big, huh?
They are like, whoa. like
waste management is today.
Yeah, kind of. You know, the logo's all over the place. I think they were. Oh, you know what? Here you go. Here exactly every single time Roxxon has been mentioned in the Marvel MCU. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, Captain America, Brave New World. A funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer, which was a Marvel one-shot. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, Hellstrom, Loki, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Echo, and now Wonder Man. Oh,
Damn.
Everything.
Damn.
Everything. So yeah, Roxxon's been around. In some way, shape, or form, they're there. All right? Well, in this case, though, the dumpster, guess you could say it's the dumpster, has some type of black sludge coming from it. And Davis, like most people probably wouldn't do, is touch it. I have to say that because it's a dumpster. You see a dumpster leaking something. Is that really your first thing? I want to touch it.
Yeah. No.
But he does.
Ain't nothing wrong with being unrealistic in that point. Just know that everybody's going to go, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, what I love about this is this whole scene goes into the dark dimension. Now, if you remember from Doctor Strange, there's a certain character who rules the dark dimension by the name of Dormammu. Dark dimension. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Good old Dormammu.
So he's transported there. And then he goes through one of the many pillar/doorways and he's in his apartment again. And he's like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. All right, I'm good. Well, that's when he's working the club again. And we meet a very, very particular person. We meet Josh Gad. Yes, you know Josh Gad.
Man playing himself.
Playing himself this time. But Josh Gad, if you don't know who he is, he's Olaf and he likes warm hugs. So you have to explain that to people.
That's one of his personalities.
It is. It is one of the many. And, you know, a lot of people are like, yeah, Josh Gad's annoying, whatever. But you know what? He's doing what he's got to do. And he's going to be in the new Spaceballs movie. So.
And he's being highly successful at it.
Yes, absolutely. And what happens is really interesting because DeMar Davis doesn't know his powers. Doesn't know. He doesn't know what can happen.
Yeah.
And as Josh Gad is having fun in the club, a fire breaks out, but it breaks out so bad that the doors actually get stuck shut and they can't open the doors. Now,
flashback to him taking out the garbage.
Oh,
when
yes.
he went to take out the garbage, he had a hard time opening the door.
That's true. He did.
So key point there is that door sticks.
Well, that was the back door, though.
But still.
This is the front door.
But still.
True.
If that door sticks, the other one's going to stick.
Very true. But here's the problem with the front door that I'm hoping you noticed, because I noticed it right away. Why were they all trying to push a door that pulls?
It's called panic.
Panic or not, pull the handle.
Dude. Panic removes.
I know.
110% of common sense.
I know, but come on.
From an individual. Well, yes, I agree. You know, but see, they didn't have a little tag on the door that said pull. That might have made a difference.
Pull, don't push, pull. Because that's what they were doing. They were all pushing.
Pull, you idiot.
I mean, they were pushing a pull door. Both of them. However, DeMar goes through the door. And he's like, how'd I do that? How'd that happen?
And here it says Davis realizes the extent of his powers and he phases through the door.
Yes. He just goes, whoop.
Fell flat on his face.
And that's when he's like, okay, I can't open the door. You guys can't open the door. I'm going to try and open the door from the inside. I can't do it. Tell you what.
Go through me.
Go through me. And everybody's like, what?
Love the reaction. It perfectly,
Yes.
exactly what I would have expected the reaction to be. You want me to do what?
You want me to do what? Huh? What are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
What are you talking about?
I can't go through you. You're a human being.
But Josh Gad, however, says, well, he wants us to go through him. I'll do it. I'll take that gamble. And he does. He goes through him and through the door.
It's funny when he came back through,
Yeah.
stuck his head through, and said, "Hey, it works. Come on, guys, follow me."
Yeah, follow me.
That was funny.
You know,
I laughed at that.
It kind of reminded me of the. I'm placing my age here. It reminded me of the black hole from Acme Products and Bugs Bunny. Throw it on the wall. We can go right through.
It took me to the portal from like the guys from Ten Rings.
Yep. Doing the Doctor Strange portal and all that.
The ring portal.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Well, obviously from there he gets everybody out, and there he's on the sidewalk. Emergency crews are there. They're doing whatever they need to and all that, and they're recovering. And Josh Gad's like, you know, I could use a guy like you. You want to be my personal bodyguard, my personal valet?
Personal valet.
And he's like, no. And then he goes, you want this job. It's a very high paying job.
It pays $200,000.
200,000.
Okay.
Sold.
Deal.
Done. Let's do it. Well, that goes into a lot of different montage, I guess you could say, where they're doing their thing, and Josh Gad is running through them to escape a crowd or whatever. I thought it was hysterical, to be honest. That whole thing was just, it was so cheesy, it was good, you know.
And it was a bit, or a segment from the Marvel's Universe's version of TMZ.
Yes.
Reporting on the doorman.
The doorman, yes. And a talent agent actually goes, hey, I'm from the Hanover agency. Why don't you help us out? Why don't you consider a career in acting? And even Josh Gad was like, yeah, you should do it, man. Let's do this.
Well, he talks them into taking her because they're trying to figure out how they're going to get in the safe or get out of the safe. Sorry.
Yes.
And they're running this scenario and that scenario, and nothing's working. And he's looking at Damar.
Yes, Damar.
And he goes, I may have a solution.
Yeah, what was it? It was a Cash Grab, right? Was the name of the film they were working on? Cash Grab.
Yep. Yep.
All you got to do is this.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. So he makes his debut as a bank robber and cash grab by the name of Gustavo. Gustavo, such a wonderful name, Gustavo. And that's when things start to pick up for him. Starts doing this movie, and they make a catchphrase for him.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
And you know, it's funny because now after he's been in this movie, he meets up with his old boss, and she's like, "Have you been?"
Mm-hmm. Are you happy?
I'm happy, but he kind of hesitated a little bit.
Yep.
Kind of hesitated a little bit.
His the way he was acting.
Yeah,
changed
his mannerisms
after he answered that question.
Yeah, the way he was holding his body, like the way it was just one of those like, yeah, I'm happy, but no, I'm not. You know?
Yeah, if you looked on the other side of the door,
yeah,
you would see a totally different person.
And what I liked about this whole part was we see, now obviously this is taking place in some type of present time within the MCU. It's happening, you know. Yes, the entire episode is black and white, which I thought was a great storytelling point.
It was almost like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but
if you think about it.
But it was, you know, back, you know, it was like back in the day type of thing. This is why things are happening, right? And
it felt like it was back in the 80s when you listen to the music that was playing and that kind of thing. It felt like it was back in the 80s.
yes, absolutely. And you see him doing a lot of these different commercials, commercials for brands. The catchphrase is being used all the time. And when he goes on a talk show called Midnight Tonight, which is kind of like the Tonight Show and everything like that, they start talking about stuff like that and all the different bits on air. And, he's even like, this is concerning for me. The joke has run its course, and he even says that this is getting out of hand.
Getting old.
And I don't want to do it. I'm unsatisfied, with what's going on. This is his 15 minutes of fame.
One of the comments that he was reading through actually said, when is his 15 minutes going to end?
Yeah. Yeah.
People being vicious online like they actually are.
Yes. And then there was a couple of different other montages of him doing some ads, especially one that was Expalax, I believe it was, which that was ding dong. You're having issues. Ding dong.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy when you morph through a door to hand a lady a bottle of Epilax who's sitting on the toilet.
Yes. And then we also
he thought they were going to be more elevated, is the way he put it, than that.
And we also start seeing more montages of him not being able to pay his bills. He's spending more money than he actually has.
And he does the ad for the potato bag.
The potato bag. Oh, yeah, the potato bag. A microwavable cooking product that he, did an infomercial on, and he's now being sued by the people that made this. And he even went on social media, posted a video. I have nothing to do with them. I'm condemning them. Like, I'm stepping away. This is a full-on apology. I had no idea this was happening, so on and so forth.
It's the lawsuit.
Yeah, and it was just one thing after another for him. And then Josh Gad comes back into the picture and says, hey, we're doing Cash Grab 2. It's moving forward. We need you. Will you come back? And he's like, yes. Yes, I will. Absolutely, 100%. And they start doing more stunts. However, because of everything that was going on, because of everything that DeMar was going through, to the point where he was not feeling well because he was drinking, he was doing
extremely hungover.
Yeah, he was a little tipsy. Maybe a little tipsy. And then some. They were doing a stunt. And during the scene, Josh Gad's character, Jake, teleports bags through the doorman. They're going out of the safe because they're locked in. How do we escape this?
Well, they're in the back of a Brinks truck.
Yes, and the goal is to get all the bags out without being seen, including but not limited to themselves. And the stunt included Josh Gad going through the doorman just like he had done hundreds of times before that. How many bags? It was 3 bags that they got out, right?
2 bags that actually went through. Josh Gad was holding another bag when he went through. Well, when he went in.
Yes.
But did not come back out.
And he did not come back out. You're right. And that's when the doorman violently vomits, and every single person on set is,
Where's
Josh Gad?
How come he didn't come through?
Yeah, where is he? What happened? So the question now is, where is Josh Gad? Which, believe me, I thought this was fitting. I thought it was great the way they tied this in. And now all of a sudden, Entertainment Tonight, the TMZ type program for the MCU, all these different shows are going, Josh Gad had vanished. Where did he go? What's happening? The public is in mourning. Like, more bad press for the doorman. And while that's happening, we see Simon Williams watching all of this on his phone unfold before him, to the point where they implement the doorman clause, which means every single person who has superpowers is banned from film and television productions. Which makes Simon go...
every major Hollywood studio and all that good stuff.
Yep. Which makes Simon go, oh, shit. Because now...
Well, he's on set.
Yeah. He was on set.
He's on a set when he sees this video about, explaining what the doorman clause is and what it's supposed to do and everything else.
Yep.
And, I love how they ended it.
Yeah.
He gets up. Well, the girl next to him asks him if he's okay. Oh, yeah, everything's fine. And he gets up and he walks off set.
Yep. Just walked off the set.
Never to be seen again.
It was like he was going off into the sunset. Like the old Roy Rogers days.
Literally, because the sun was shining through the open doorway.
Yep.
As he's walking towards it.
Yep.
Very, very, very fitting ending, I think.
Now, I will admit that the outfit they made him wear for Cash Grab with the diamonds as eyes matched the comic book iteration.
Okay, I was wondering about that, because there's I want to say that isn't there another MCU villain that wore a similar style mask?
Not that I know of.
Daredevil, the guy in Daredevil. The guy that stalked the subways.
Oh, that was a little bit different.
Kingpin.
No, it wasn't Kingpin. You're talking about the artist. So
about what?
You're talking about the kid that was doing all the art in people's blood.
Yeah, that was in Kingpin.
Yes, but so the mask was similar, but it's not.
Okay.
But you're on the right path of something similar to that. So, but with DeMar Davis, okay, his main powers is he uses Dark Force energy to basically do what he needs to do, including teleport. But he can also create objects using this. Mm-hmm. Another name they call him is the Angel of Death, because he's a hybrid.
Right.
But he is actually a superhero. He's part of the West Coast Avengers. He's part of the Great Lakes Avengers. And yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But he's also, he's immortal. He is immortal. So you can't kill him. He is what he is, But if I remember correctly, I believe he chose the Great Lakes Avengers over X-Men and the Defenders. So that was a cool thing.
Okay.
But hopefully we'll get into that later on.
Right. So Sully.
But he is a hero, and they did stick to as much comic book accuracy with his outfit as possible, which I thought was great.
Yep.
I really do. So
Sully, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How many W's do you give episode 3?
It's my turn to start, eh? Let's see.
Yes.
So, for episode 3, I'm not going to lie. I am sticking with 4.
Okay.
I'm sticking with
So
4.
you're still riding that same level. Right?
I'm right at that same level. I think the writing is phenomenal. And most people will kind of knock the writing, but no, I'm loving this. Because if you think about it, it's kind of meta. Like, it's making fun of Hollywood and the way they do things, but it's also showing the way it is.
Right.
At the same time. So it's kind of like that meta type atmosphere that's going on. But I also am loving the character development and the tension, and it's not normally tackled in this. Like, here you go, you got somebody with superpowers. He is afraid. And you can tie that to real world situations. Like I said with the analogy, you can tie that to people coming out of the closet. Even today, people are afraid to do that. It sucks. Don't get me wrong.
Not as afraid as they used to be, but yeah, they still are.
But people still are, So I'm right. Mm-hmm. I'm right at the 4 level. I think I'm loving this so far. The character development is crazy.
Right.
What about you, sir?
I was at 3.5 for both 1 and 2. For this episode, I'm actually going to a 4.5.
Really? Wow, that's a big jump.
It's the thing that put me there. Okay, is a combination of things. It was a combination of how realistic everything was with the birthday party, and how everything went down there.
Yep.
It was also partly because of Trevor breaking the SD card and throwing it away.
Yep.
And doing the right thing, even though he knows what the consequences could be.
Yes.
But there was one line in that episode, and it was kind of glossed over. But there was one line in the episode that just this one line actually pushed it up 0.5 point.
Mm-hmm.
When Simon and Trevor were sitting in the car, and at the beginning of their conversation, he said, "No one outside of my family and my neighborhood has ever seen me do that."
It's true.
So you take that and Trevor's reaction to it. No big deal.
Oh yeah, it was perfect.
It's just, and that little interaction right there, and him saying that line, I don't know why, but that stuck out to me. And like I said, that one line was worth 0.5 point in rating to me, so that pushed it up to a 4.5. I'm loving what they've done.
I like it,
and what they're doing with this series.
I like it. Well, that brings us to episode 4.
Mm-hmm. Episode 4 answered a whole hell of a lot of questions. I mean, no question at all about that. Answered all kinds of questions about what the doorman clause was, why it came about, in the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Like you said, and like we both said earlier, we love the flack. Loved the fact that it was done in black and white. Felt like a good Twilight Zone episode.
Yep.
and everything. But it also showed Simon's reaction when it was announced.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love the way that they went back to color at the very end of the episode, because he's sitting there in the green hospital scrubs.
Yep.
Walks out the door. I loved it. I gave episode 4 a 4.
Nice. Well, I'm right there with you with the episode 4 being a 4 because, yeah, I wanted to give it more, but
There's wasn't enough there.
The other thing is they really didn't touch on a lot of the doorman's powers, and I understand why.
Yeah, I mean, they can't go too far into it.
Well, that, and he's technically still learning how to use those powers. That's
Right.
only the one thing that we've seen. He doesn't know about the rest yet because this is all new to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like that they tied it into the way actors, not all, I have to stress that, not all, but there are some actors out there that get that one role and they overspend and they crash and burn. And then they get like a rejuvenation type thing and they crash and burn, or something happens that's completely like woof out there. So like I
look
said,
at it, his method
yes,
is what's causing all of his problems.
yes,
When it comes to the acting side of things.
absolutely, 100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hands
I'm
down.
really enjoying this. On an enjoyment scale, just completely outside of everything.
Yeah,
From everything else that we've watched. I mean, I'm enjoying this one as much as I have Mandalorian.
yeah, it's good.
You know, it is.
It's good. And you know, it's funny.
And I can
Go ahead.
go ahead.
What were you saying?
I just say, you know, I can understand why some people are reacting to it the way they are, because it is so far outside of the realm
Yeah.
of what you expect from the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly think this is one of the best things that the MCU has done.
You need it. You need something.
You know,
like
you've got to
this.
have, exactly, you've got to have something to break off, you know, to kind of make people go, wait a minute now.
Say what now?
What's going on?
Huh? How did that happen?
Right.
But next week, we'll be tackling episodes 5 and 6.
Yes.
And JT hasn't watched them. I did because I binged the entire series.
Right.
I can tell you, you're going to love these two.
Okay.
Only
We'll put you to the
because, only because of the pacing. Because, you know, obviously this episode, we saw something from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to see what's going to happen with Trevor and Simon on their callback.
Yeah.
So,
I'm really invested in Trevor right now.
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah. Especially with what he did with the SD card and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh man, he's really screwing himself here. What's going to happen to him now?
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be interesting. I'm like I said, I'm really invested in his character.
It's going to be a
Probably
good,
more than I should be, but I am invested in his character.
but you can tell, like, even he as a character has grown
Mhm.
from being the
Oh, that was
the Mandalorian, the Mandarin. Jesus Christ, I did it too.
welcome to my world.
Right. So from being the Mandarin to going to prison, to being broken out of prison, to now being on the fence of whether or not he should continue to gather this information of Simon, it's tough on him too.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to mention, and this happened in episode 3.
Yep.
And when they were sitting in Simon's apartment, and they had that little classical actor play little montage that they did between each other and everything.
Yeah.
that felt so realistic.
Oh, yeah.
And just the chemistry that these two have together on screen is mind-blowing.
Ben Kingsley is the man.
I mean, just and the way they interact with each other, and the way Simon reacted to Trevor as he was doing the King Lear thing, and this, that, and it's one of my favorite parts about this series is seeing that relationship grow.
Yes.
As we've gone along, I've loved it. I've truly loved it.
And I mean, it's growing, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It is
but
growing.
We've gone 15 minutes over, so.
We have. And that, my friends, is the end of this week's episode of Avenger Pretenders. Next week, episodes 5 and 6 of Wonder Man. So, make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Sully Show. So, yeah, that's fun. We've got a lot to talk about for that one. Full prep sheet, that's for sure.
At this point.
Whether the prep sheet's not full, it's going to be full. I guarantee it. So, for the redneck, there he is. Can't miss him. He's a good guy. He's the best.
See ya.
He's going to say goodbye.
I said that wrong. See y'all later.
Yeehaw. And I am Sully the Geek. We will see you next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Avenger Pretenders, but we will also see you tomorrow for the Sully Show, and it's going to be a great time. Yes. And just remember, folks, Thanos was right.